Have you ever wondered why, despite always giving so much of yourself, you still end up feeling completely alone? Why is it that the more deeply you care, the more painful and isolating it becomes? You're the one everyone calls when they're hurting, the reliable listener, the comforting presence, the emotional safe haven. But when your own heart aches, you find yourself utterly alone. People flock to you, drawn by an invisible force that makes them feel understood and healed. Yet none of them truly sees the silent suffering behind your calm exterior. Deep inside, you're exhausted. You've become a lifeline for others, but who is there when you're quietly sinking beneath the weight of their burdens? There's a name for this painful paradox. Carl Jung called it the wounded healer. According to Jung, your ability to soothe and support others doesn't come from strength alone. It grows directly from your own deepest wounds, your hidden loneliness, your unmet emotional needs. But there's a crucial mistake nearly all deeply sensitive people make, one that keeps you trapped in a cycle of loneliness and emotional exhaustion. It's shocking because this mistake seems like the very essence of compassion itself, yet it's slowly draining the life out of you. So, why hasn't anyone ever clearly warned you about it? Could it be that your greatest gift, your empathy, your deep emotional intuition, has been quietly working against you all this time? What if the pain you've been desperately trying to avoid actually holds the secret to breaking this cycle once and for all? Sarah sat motionless in her car, parked beneath the muted glow of a street lamp on a rain-soaked evening in New York. Drops drummed against the windshield, mirroring her fragmented thoughts. Her phone buzzed relentlessly, illuminating the dark interior with an endless stream of messages. Colleagues asking for help with their overwhelming workload. Friends in emotional distress seeking comfort. Relatives needing reassurance. Each message an expectation, each vibration another weight, pressed onto her already exhausted shoulders. Yet, as the raindrops blurred her vision, a single realization struck her with brutal clarity. Nobody had asked how she was doing. Not a single person noticed her silent struggle, her invisible pain. Sarah bowed her head against the steering wheel, tears falling freely, blending seamlessly with the rhythm of the rain. But how did Sarah come to this moment of stark loneliness? What many deeply sensitive individuals like Sarah never realize is that their extraordinary ability to empathize stems directly from a childhood of emotional instability. Growing up, perhaps you learned to decode subtle shifts in mood and atmosphere out of necessity rather than choice. A parent's silence could signal approaching danger. A sudden change in tone might predict emotional storms you had to navigate carefully. Over time, your sensitivity became an adaptive survival skill, sharpening into a finely tuned radar capable of sensing emotional currents invisible to most others. Yet there is a devastating mistake nearly every empathetic person makes, and tragically, nobody seems willing to warn you about it. Have you ever noticed how your aura, your very presence, draws in certain types of people, some healthy, others incredibly draining? The truth is, your energy doesn't discriminate. It attracts both the wounded souls genuinely seeking healing and those who unknowingly exploit your compassion. Carl Jung outlined distinct archetypes drawn to what he termed the wounded healer. Among them are the wounded child, desperately searching for validation and comfort, perpetually needing reassurance that they're safe. Then comes the shadow projector, individuals who unconsciously transfer their unresolved negativity, anger, or guilt onto you, making you carry emotions they refuse to face. Most draining of all, the energy vampire appears. Those who rely on your empathy to absorb their ongoing crises, leaving you utterly depleted. How often do you find yourself inexplicably exhausted after spending time with certain friends or coworkers? Have you ever felt your own emotions quietly eclipsed by theirs? Your peace slowly eroded until all that's left is an unsettling emptiness. The consequences run deeper than fatigue alone. Your emotional resources dwindle, relationships turn transactional, your mental health deteriorates, and your personal growth stagnates. Gradually, your life becomes an endless loop of serving others at your own expense, trapped within a painful paradox of healing everyone but yourself. But there is only one true way out of this persistent emotional anguish, and it completely contradicts everything you've been taught to believe about empathy and kindness. The aura of empathy you carry functions as an emotional mirror, revealing to others their hidden truths. To those who are open and self-aware, your presence feels like warmth, clarity, and peace. Yet for those resisting their inner darkness, your energy triggers discomfort and anxiety. You're a living reflection of the emotional honesty they avoid, making them react with hostility or further demands on your emotional availability. Can you see now why your very nature, meant to heal, sometimes invites unintended suffering? This understanding leads to a profoundly transformative realization, one that offers genuine liberation. Your aura, your deep sensitivity, is not primarily meant for others. It's not simply a gift designed to comfort and soothe the world at your own cost. It is first and foremost a gift intended for you, to illuminate your deepest wounds and guide you toward profound self-awareness and healing. Imagine your sensitivity as an internal compass, a beacon signaling precisely where you must direct compassion inward before offering it outward. Rather than endlessly pouring from an empty vessel, your task is to first fill your own heart and spirit, to heal from within. This self-directed empathy doesn't diminish your ability to help others. It magnifies it, empowering you to give from a place of genuine wholeness rather than perpetual depletion. Have you ever considered that the pain you've spent your life hiding, the wounds you've carefully concealed from others, may actually hold your greatest power? What if your sensitivity, your emotional scars, are not weaknesses to escape, but the very keys to unlocking an extraordinary strength and authenticity within you? If you see yourself clearly in Sarah's story, in this quiet yet profound struggle of emotional solitude, simply write one word below: understood. Right now, it's time to finally face the truth you've been avoiding your whole life. Your empathy wasn't given to you so you could become a silent martyr, sacrificing yourself endlessly just to save everyone else. You don't have to keep being the one who listens patiently while your own voice goes unheard, the one who heals others but remains secretly wounded and alone. You've spent years becoming an emotional sponge, quietly absorbing the pain, sadness, and trauma around you, carrying burdens that were never yours to bear. But how many more sleepless nights must pass before you understand that the true purpose of your deep sensitivity isn't to erase your boundaries and exhaust your spirit? Your empathy was never meant to drain your life force, yet you've allowed it to happen again and again. Here's the truth. Your aura doesn't ask you to sacrifice your emotional health. It demands something far more courageous: that you stop running from your own buried pain. It needs you to pause, turn inward, and clearly see the wounds you've desperately tried to hide behind your kindness and compassion. Have you ever asked yourself why it's easier for you to comfort someone else's sadness than acknowledge your own? Why is it that you're the first to forgive, console, and support, but the last to admit that you too are hurting and need compassion? Carl Jung offered a powerful insight into this phenomenon, referring to people like you as wounded healers. According to Jung, your exceptional ability to soothe others comes directly from your own deep emotional scars, your hidden loneliness, your unspoken wounds. Yet, if you continue ignoring these wounds, if you continue hiding behind a mask of endless generosity, you'll remain trapped in an exhausting cycle of feeling unseen, unloved, and abandoned. Now imagine something different. Imagine becoming not a sponge, but an alchemist. Imagine confronting your deepest emotional wounds, bravely facing the loneliness and isolation you've carried silently all these years. As an emotional alchemist, you have the ability to transform your pain into wisdom, to turn the shadows you feared into clarity and insight. Your sensitivity, rather than a weakness, becomes your most powerful source of strength and authenticity. Consider this carefully. What if the loneliness you've spent your whole life running from actually holds the key to your healing? What if the emotional emptiness you've avoided is exactly the pathway to discovering your true, authentic self? Your aura is not just about empathy. It's about the courage to heal yourself first, before attempting to rescue anyone else. Right here, right now, you have a choice to make. Are you ready to stop trying to save everyone around you at your own expense? Are you finally willing to admit that your relentless compassion and endless generosity often mask a deeper fear of confronting your own pain? You've spent too long putting everyone else's emotional needs above your own. You've made yourself available at every moment, yet who has been genuinely present for you? The bitter truth is that no one will fully acknowledge your value until you acknowledge it first. No one will truly see you until you courageously allow yourself to be seen, wounds and all. The transformation from emotional sponge to psychological alchemist isn't comfortable or simple. It requires you to step directly into the pain you've been hiding from and ask yourself, what are you truly afraid of discovering if you pause long enough to face yourself? And perhaps the hardest question of all, are you prepared to let go of your old identity, the one built on quiet sacrifice and invisible pain? Are you ready to embrace a new, powerful reality? One in which your empathy empowers rather than exhausts you, where your wounds become the very source of your greatest strength. Yet to genuinely achieve this profound transformation, Carl Jung revealed one crucial step that most people miss. It's a critical insight, a turning point you must reach before your wounds can truly heal. Without understanding and taking this essential step, you will remain caught in the same endless cycle of emotional exhaustion, invisibility, and pain. But what exactly is this critical step Jung identified? How can you finally break free from this painful emotional pattern and reclaim your life? In just a moment, I'll share with you precisely what Carl Jung considered the most vital piece in this journey. The key to finally healing your deepest wounds, finding your true power, and freeing yourself from this relentless emotional isolation. Your empathic aura was never a curse. It has always been a profound gift, waiting patiently for you to discover its true purpose. When fully embraced, your deep sensitivity becomes the guiding force that leads you to heal your own heart, illuminating the path so others can recognize their own ability to heal as well. The loneliness you've carried, the quiet pain you've hidden beneath compassion and kindness, now holds the potential to transform you, not into someone who merely survives, but into someone who truly thrives. Carl Jung beautifully named this transformative journey individuation. Individuation is the powerful, life-changing process of becoming fully aware of your true self, integrating your deepest wounds with profound self-understanding. It's the journey of recognizing your emotional sensitivity as a profound strength, rather than an endless burden. Instead of feeling fragmented and depleted, you finally become complete, authentic, and deeply empowered. Now ask yourself honestly, are you ready to finally stop absorbing pain and start transforming it into power? Are you willing to leave behind the comfort of familiar suffering and embrace the profound freedom of true self-awareness? Most importantly, can you recognize that your own healing is not selfish, but rather the greatest gift you can ever offer both yourself and others? The choice is yours, and you can make it right now. If you're truly ready to transform your empathic aura into genuine power, if you're ready to embody your truth and live fully as the awakened, whole version of yourself, then I invite you to take one clear step forward. Simply comment below with one powerful word: empowered. I'll be right here, waiting to witness your transformation.